Hi guys, it's Henry from Investment for Experts here. So I've been asked a lot, where would I invest in an inflationary environment? So I'm going to split this up into two elements. One is for the more defensive investor and the other is for the higher risk investor. So on the more defensive investor, you have dividend stocks and funds. A lot of the companies and funds that have been kind of neglected in 2021, but when optimism has been replaced in pessimism in the environment, it leaves a lot of these companies kind of showing up. Now, these are companies or funds in areas like banks, pharmaceuticals, oil and gas, tobacco, normally ones that investors have stayed away from, but they have high profit margins. A lot of them have low beta, so they're not that volatile. And in a recessionary environment, they're ones that are going to be constantly used. So if companies specifically, think of Johnson & Johnson, Chevron, Shell, etc. like that. That also Warren Buffett has been buying into a lot of these companies in 2022. So funds that you can invest in, a Vanguard high dividend or Vanguard income funds for low cost investing, easy investing into areas like this. On the other end of the spectrum, on the fixed interest side, would go on low duration, high quality bonds. So think of your T-bills, your gilts. If on the more adventurous side of the fixed income, I do think some emerging markets have some good yields. Indonesian on the run has 7% yield. For good fixed income managers though, think of your PIMCOs for actives, they have some good bond funds, and Vanguard for your passive. Into other areas would look more into sectors or regions such as India. I think Modi's government has a lot of challenges ahead of itself, but could it be really India's time that people have spoken about for the last 20-30 years? Potentially it's cutting red tape, it's going to benefit from the trade war and companies like Apple moving more resources into India. It's got a blessed population as well, tech's heavy, English speaking, got a lot of potential there in India. In Southeast Asia, you've got Indonesia, very kind of land-rich country in future resources such as nickel, large population. Companies like Tesla and NIO are looking to set up there because of the nickel. I do have my doubts about Indonesia, potentially with the labour force, but I have recently spoken to an Indonesian fund manager that thinks they have the ability to overcome these factors, and it looks quite promising for Indonesia. Other areas of Vietnam, again, I think the economy is forecast to grow 6-7% from a stock market point of view in both the Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh stock markets respectively. They're down 30 to 50% year to date, so you've got a large discrepancy in the stock market and the actual economy. So I think that's a good time for a lot of investors to make use of. Just a quick disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Go speak to an IFE if you want specific individual financial advice.